I did a talk a few months ago on values and the fact that, and I've spoken about values for quite a while. I've been really interested in the whole concept of values and how they impact company culture, but also recently something that I found quite interesting is how they help companies find their marketing voice and how effectively, like the Simon Sinek kind of talk is why we do something rather than what we do. And so I did a presentation in Edinburgh about 3-4 months ago. And one of the things that I've been really quite interested in discussing or quite interested in presenting on is the fact that values for a lot of people are wanky. And when I first heard of them, I thought, oh, here we go, it's some smarmy concept, and it's going to be basically a pile of crap and no one's actually going to live by these values. And my sort of journey with values started probably about, I would say about 7 years ago, where I was asked to do a talk in America. And I did the talk, and the title of my talk was Putting Heart Back in the Agenda. And I talked about some of the values by which I've been brought up. And I came back from the States, very different kind of attitude in the States, very can-do, brilliant, going, why the heck are we not running businesses in the UK more like this? Why are people going to jobs that they don't enjoy? Why do we not have company cultures that are really exciting, where you're spending your day actually doing something you love? And about 4 days after I came back from the States thinking, what am I going to do when I'm going to change things? This mental guy phoned me. And it was initially it was one of those emails that you get when you think, oh my God, you're going to another networking group, and he started talking to me about this group that he put together of, and he kept calling them my tribe. And I was like, my tribe, interesting. Anyway, I got really well with him, and I met him the next day, and the only way I can describe him to you is a Jack Russell on speed. Literally. Does anyone know Adam Purvis or Power Review? Jack Russell on speed, Adam Purvis. And he walked into my office and he told me all about this organisation called Power Review. And he started talking about value-led business. Just value-led business. And I started sort of exploring it and investigating it. And I came in, went away for a weekend, and I came into the girls in the office. I was like, so we're a values-led business. Yeah. I was like, what are our values? And they were like, well, it's pretty obvious. I was like, okay, I think it is, and I think it runs to everything we do, but can we just sit for 20 minutes and write them down? And we did, and bizarrely, we all came out with exactly the same 9 values, with some variation, but effectively, I thought, brilliant, okay, fine. And then what was really important to me was, that's fine, but to me they're wanky. If you put them up on a wall or you frame them and you don't actually make sure that they run through absolutely everything you do. So about 4 years ago, at the end of our sort of season, we all go away and we sat and we went through every single value and how it improved everything we do in the company. And it had 2 impacts. One, it made me very proud that we were genuinely a value-led business, but it also gave all the girls in the office ownership over those values. And they realised how they used them every day. And they started to realise how those values kind of impacted our company. So, and I will be very brief, and I will not go through all these slides because they're quite dull. I don't like slides, but whatever. So, oh no, that's not going to work, is it? Not way. Speed button? Nope. Oh, is it a clicky one? It's fine.
No, we should be able to know.
That's good. So very briefly to let you know what I do, I run a company called ISSOS International. We run international summer schools for 13 to 18-year-olds from all over the world in St Andrews, Cambridge and Yale University. And the very quick, brief story of ISSOS is that I went to summer camp when I was 21, thought I was going for a one-off experience, and ended up totally falling in love with about 200 kids and about 300 staff. And went back for 4 years. And in the last year that I was there, thinking I still wanted to be a feature producer, I was standing, this sounds really cheesy, but it genuinely happened. I was standing at the end of a dock and looking over this beautiful man-made lake and thinking, why did I leave for 4 years? What is it about this that I love? And what the heck am I going to do now that I've graduated and I don't know what to do? And this wee girl came up and she took my hand and she gave me this plaque of wood that had a quote on it. And it said, 100 years from now, it won't matter what kind of car I drive or what kind of house I lived in or how much money I had in the bank. My life will be important because I was important in the life of a child. And I genuinely had this kind of aha moment of, I want to do something to impact kids and to impact education. I've got no idea how the hell I would do it, but that is effectively what I would like to do. And I came home and I think I probably got drunk and I probably thought it was a great idea to set up summer school, which I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I did because I'd worked at summer camp, and effectively went ahead and did it. And in the first year we had 51 kids, second year 180, and it's kind of exploded, and now we've got over 600 at 3 different sort of locations. But the purpose of ISSOS was very simple, because at these summer camps, or the summer camp that I went to, I realised the thing that I loved about it, and the thing that I loved about the school I went to, was it was just this safe place, and kids and staff felt safe to be who they were welcome as they were, and it didn't matter what kind of house their mum and dad lived in, it didn't matter what kind of car they drove, they were just Jen in her shorts and t-shirt, and let's have some fun. And so ISSOS was set up with one very clear mission, to create a safe place for people to learn and grow. And safety is a huge value of ours, and I'll go on and chat to you. I can talk all day about safety, but how that has impacted massively our company culture. As I said, values have run through, or do run through, everything that we do. We have 9 values, which is actually quite a lot. And if you speak to anyone, they'll be like, have 3. We've just decided not to cut them down. And the reason being, bizarrely, we published our values on our website about 2 years ago. And I was saying to my mum and dad, will you read the values? And my dad was like, I would buy from that company. And I was like, really? I was like, yeah, I like the sound of it. And I thought, well, good, because you're a parent and we're asking people to send us their children. So what did it make you feel? And he was like, it made me feel safe. It made me feel warm and fuzzy. And I was like, brilliant. Fantastic. So we started actually attaching our values to some emails to send them out to parents and to companies that we work with. Because for us, what was really important was, my dad said to me years ago, someone had said to him in business, you'll never get very far because you don't work with people that you don't like. Well, if that's true, I probably won't either. But one of the things that we were very conscious of, every company we work with effectively has the same values as us. And we were like, well, I don't really want to work with people that are arseholes, or who want to go and hurt other people, or aren't very honest. So actually, let's work with people with the same values as us. And we don't have to get them to tick the box, we just automatically do. So to take you through very briefly, our 9 values: education, too obvious, balance, people, relationships, quality, service, social responsibility, safety, and fun. I love a quote. And so when we did our values, I was like, we're going to put a quote underneath every value. I was like, oh, really? I was like, yes, that's what we're going to do. So Barbara Streisand even gets in there. I mean, everybody's there. So just very briefly, to show you how these values run through everything we do. Safety, when we talk about safety, we're not just talking about physical safety, we're very much talking emotional safety. It's one of the main reasons we exist. To me, teachers have the greatest responsibility in the world. They have the responsibility to make kids feel safe within their classroom, and to create that safe space. And in everything that we do, be it during the summer school, be it in the office, everything we do is about how do we create that safe space for kids, but also for our staff. And that is literally down to the way our classrooms are managed, the way we speak to students and to staff. And our locations are chosen for our safety. One of the greatest things that has come out of values is I've seen it as a kind of moral compass for business. So when we were looking at opening in Yale, we were kind of looking at Yale going, is it safe? New Haven, not so much if you've ever been there, but where Yale is, yes. So great, it ticks that box. Does it tick every other box? And we deliver our values. So it, through no sort of intention, became a tick box for us expanding. People, really obviously, I always say that people are our biggest asset, in the sense that we're only as good as the people that we employ. We employ just over 108, 110 people every summer. If we screw that up, we effectively screw up summer school. We invest in the people that we have, not just the ones that we have during the year, but we employ a lot of teachers, so we try and help them, be it in promotion, whatever it might be, and try and help them develop. We're very client focused. The great thing about working with kids is they have no shit filter, as I put it. They will tell you the truth, and I get the great honour of being the programme director at one of the summer schools every year. And when we opened in Yale 3 years ago, we would go to New York and I'd be like, did you enjoy it? And they're like, all right, okay, well, what didn't you enjoy about New York? I mean, it's New York. And they're like, could have been in any city. Okay, what would you like to see in New York? Times Square. And it's a Saturday, Times Square. Okay, how do we navigate that? But the great thing is they instantly will just tell you they'll like it. Okay, then we'll change it. And it's brilliant. We've like a lot of businesses, talk a lot about building a family, and that's something that we've taken very seriously. It's also something that we massively consider when we're expanding. Do we want to expand? Because can we actually create a family over a certain size? And if we do expand, how do we do that? And how do we make that focus? There's a lovely phrase, not coined by me, but it says, we don't train our people to be nice, we just employ nice people. And I think that in itself goes back to the values. We employ people that basically go along with our value set, and that makes employing people very easy. And I think values actually in that sense have become incredibly valuable to us in that we employ based on our values. Service, I'm hell-bent on service-led business. I think it is so important. And I think there are some companies in Scotland that do incredibly well, and I think there are some that do it horrendously well, badly. You go to America, everything's served with a smile, and it's amazing. Actually, it's really good because whether they do or not, you believe they care. And going that extra mile, I think, is always really important. We still, to this day, have people who went to the summer school 4 years ago, and their parents will phone us up and ask them how they get a tuxedo in Durham because they're from Holland. Yeah, but okay, we'll go for it. We'll help you out. I always say it's really important to staff in a summer school work out a way to say yes rather than say no. No is an easy answer. It's an unintelligent person's answer. Work out a way to say yes, as long as it's not harming somebody or if a student walks in and goes, "Can I have a knife?" No, you can't. Is it to cut a potato? Then that's okay. But there's always reasons. One of the other things with service is that nobody ever has one contact with our summer school. It's very much a sort of 3-hit rule, if you like, or if you've been to the summer school, it's about creating that kind of family and making sure that we keep up with them. We've got over 2,000-3,000 students that have now been to ISSOS, and we're still in touch with them. None of them can ever come back, that's totally fine. But the great thing is this year we had 4 ex-students who were working at summer school, and we're going to have even more this year. So it's really, really nice to see that. The other thing is we understand our place in student and parents' lives. It's that kind of Starbucks thing where Starbucks believe that there are one point in your days when you take that sip of coffee, you know it's made exactly the same no matter where you are in the world. And understanding where we are in that sort of service.
Are they not your biggest investors?
I could say Starbucks. I was like, I don't know. Yes, absolutely they are. Totally, absolutely. And that's why effectively 80% of our business until we opened in Yale was brothers, sisters, referral. We work in a huge referral market. I'll show you our brochure, a mini brochure that we have. We know that effectively, so in Lebanon, for example, so we only take 10% of each nationality, and we fill for Lebanese students in every single section of our summer school. Lebanon, do we take an advert? What do we do? And I looked at it and I realised that about 7 years ago, we had 4 parents that sent their kids from Lebanon. And Lebanon has 7 private schools. And they are all absolute, like if you wrote a profile of the mum who sends their kid to ISSOS, that is them. Some of them do very well, some of them don't work, but they all more or less go pick up their kids at school or are part of the sort of PT, etc. And when they stand outside the school gates and they say, "What's your daughter doing?" And if they like the person, they'll then hand them something to tell them about ISSOS. So we got mini brochures designed that were handbag size so that these parents could basically go, "Well, there you go." And we have, all of the schools, the 7 schools we get kids from. The other thing about that specifically though is that our value of safety massively plays into that, because we get kids from Lebanon who come in and say the same thing because they're in a country that's totally different to Scotland or Cambridge or to Yale. So in that sense, they are our biggest ambassadors, and it's incredible. It's brilliant. I didn't bring any, but when we got our main brochure designed, we gave it to a branding company in Glasgow and they designed it, and I went, "That's lovely." If you're American, you're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's really summer camp, it's got loads of really smiley kids with white teeth, and that's lovely. But a German's going to hate it." What do you mean a German's going to hate it? It's like, Germans want facts and figures of how long their kids are going to be playing golf, where they're going to be playing. And I was like, someone who doesn't speak English still wants the photos and to get that feeling, but they need the information as well. And they were like, oh, I was like, yeah, you're talking about over 80 nationalities you're marketing to, and they were like, it's difficult, but it's just one of those things. You kind of have to think like everybody in that sense. And that's the other thing.
One brochure.
Oh, I know, it can be like 20. Crazy.
And your values come across any challenges?
But it's really bizarrely fun.
Right.
And I say that in the nicest way. When we were looking at our website, because you're obviously you're marketing to kids, parents, and let's say teachers, and they all want something slightly different. Kids don't really mind about the safety aspect; they care about the fun aspect. Parents don't; they do care about the fun aspect actually because they want their son or daughter to still have fun during the summer. But they really care about the academic aspect, cultural aspect. So when we were sort of going, how do we market the fun side of it without throwing it in the parents and teachers' faces, but still getting it across? So what we did was we developed a handbook that went out to the students before they come to the summer school. We were getting a lot of students who were coming and arriving on the opening day going, Mum and Dad wanted me to come to this. And is it fun? We were like, oh, right, yes. Okay, we should communicate that to you. And that was back when they didn't have friends that had come to the summer school. So we give them an information booklet that's got all that information in it so they understand what they're coming to as well. And one of the things that we have that is something that really appeals to a lot of the certainly returning students is clans. So they're all put, like houses at school, they're all put into one clan, they're given a t-shirt, they all compete against each other over 3 weeks. It's a really fun, non-academic aspect of the summer school. But what they don't realise is it gets them mixing with kids from totally different nationalities, different age groups, different sexes. Oh, and they leave knowing far more people than they ever arrived with. And it also massively increases their confidence. So fun was one that was a difficult one. It's sometimes really difficult to communicate, especially with some nationalities. Certainly a lot of the Asian nationalities, they are very regimented and they're very scheduled. So for them, when you're like, you've got some free time, it's like, what's that? Okay. And that takes them 3 weeks to sort of get into that groove of. So yeah, there's some that are quite difficult to market in that sense. But I would say a lot of it's about a feeling, if that makes sense. So,
do you use your values as like a checklist?
Yeah. Not necessarily formally. It's not like when we were picking Yale, yes, I sat down and looked at our values and I was like, can we deliver all of these in that location? Or when we're picking a new academic, can we deliver all of these values within that academic year?
Any of the marketing materials people share?
Yeah. So when we look at our brochure, for example, we're like, is that quality? Does it exude fun? Does it say something with safety in it? Or does it look safe? And all of it, I wouldn't say it. If you said to the girls in the office, when every decision you make, do you think about the 9 values? They'd be like, no, but automatically I go, yeah, I know that's there. And there's been times, a video that we got sent the other day, and somebody gave it to us and we all looked at it and I went, and I was just sitting there going, please, well, it's not very balanced. I was like, which is one of those? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it's too summer campy, so it doesn't look quality. Right. They were like, yeah. And we actually had a discussion. And actually, when we had the discussion, I was like, every word that's coming out your mouth is a value. So it was really weird. It's just ingrained in it.
So it felt like
totally.
It was off.
Totally, yeah. Which was really, really nice. Yeah. One of the values is fun, and my dad said to me years ago, if it's not fun, why would you do it? I thought, bloody true. So one of the things that's really important to us is to have a lot of fun. And everybody involved in ISSOS should be having fun at one point. If you ever come into our head office, it's full of laughter. We've just taken on somebody new, and today she finished, but before I left, she was like, my stomach actually hurts from laughing. And I was like, brilliant, I am so glad. But also, if you ever walk into summer school, it's full of laughter and fun. If anybody lives in Glasgow and walks past the west end of Glasgow on Saturday night, I do a thing called Chilly Night. My house, which is the company, gets bigger and bigger, is becoming bigger and bigger. And there's about 80 people standing in my kitchen eating chili. And the laughter and the noise, to be honest, it exudes out of that is insane. But it's quite nice. One of the things I think about fun or think about laughter is that it helps people think more from their heart than just in their head. So it's a good way to get people thinking that way. I think for me, one of the biggest things that the values have done or have helped create is a company culture. We have a great staff retention. Louise Lilly, who's our operations director, or Louise O'Connor, has been there for 10 years. As I say, there's a huge amount of laughter. We've just introduced a 4-day work week, which I decided last year, through no intention. We have 6 girls on our staff, and 3 of them are mums. And I thought, why can all of you not be mums and wives and have a career? And all of them are like, I really just want 1 day off to spend with my family. Okay, then let's do it. So we've done it, and it has worked really well. It's great. What they have realised is that taking a Tuesday off sucks. I was like, guys, I did say to you, we're going to take a Monday or a Friday and then a weekend either way. So they've come around to that themselves, which is nice.
So not everyone's set for the same.
No, so not everybody has the one, everybody chooses the day, but not everybody has the same day. So one of the things I was really conscious of was I didn't want them all to pick a different day, and then we didn't have one single day throughout the whole week that everybody was in the office. And I also didn't really want it to be fragmented. So there's some people, so we have a communications coordinator and we have a marketing director. So I didn't want them both to be always off on the same day. So effectively, they got to choose between Monday and a Friday. 3 people took a Monday off, and 3 people have to take a Monday off. And it works really, really nicely. And it means that every other day it is it.
What did you consolidate the hours? Like,
No,
in a 5-day?
just basically went 4-day week, same, you do 4 days, 9 to 5 or whatever, and you just take a day off. Because of the nature of our business, come probably March, we will have to stop it until September, because what I didn't want to do, because they were all kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can do my job. Every single person can do the job. But I know fine well that when we get to March, that what I will create if I say to them, you've got to do it, is stress. And actually what they'll do is they'll end up just being homework. Well, there's no point in that. So let's trial it, see if it works, which it has.
So you didn't change wages?
No.
So everyone's getting paid the same as $200 per day?
Yeah.
God,
My issue though is that we go out for lunch a lot. And when we get to like September, October, it's not even lunch, it's like, go for a late lunch. I'm going, you mean we're going for lunch at 3 and we're not coming back to the office? Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Well, we do 4-day week, but that hasn't happened yet, so we're okay. I'm working with that. The other big thing is safety. When I talked about safety earlier, when we went away at the end of summer one year, I sat down and I said to the girls, look, safety is really important. Because I don't believe if you don't feel safe, I don't think you can learn, I don't think you can grow, and I don't think you can want to come into an environment where you feel safe. Everybody can remember a time where their safety barrier was broken, be it as a kid or an adult. It's a horrible feeling. And so we went away and I said, right, give me everything that makes you feel safe in your job, from a full-time contract to I don't like being made to stand on a table and dance. Okay, that's but give me everything, because we employed a girl years ago. We do a pub quiz occasionally in the office, and we were doing, the countdown theme tune. And everyone was like, oh, you should do the countdown theme tune. And I could see this girl going way down. And I thought, oh, no, she does not know this, does not sit well with her. So we changed the conversation and we moved on. And I thought, that is not a nice environment to come into if that is not where you're at. And if someone making you do that is effectively totally breaking your safety barrier, and no, because you're totally comfortable with doing a theme tune from countdown. I mean, it's ridiculous. But for her, that's just not her. So when we went away and we listed everything that made them feel safe, I was like, great, we do all of that, and actually there's some of it we can do more of. And I think some of it was being listened to, in the fact that, I always say to them, I love when they come to me and go, I've really screwed up. Really, what have you done? Fantastic. Because at least you have the confidence to go and do it, and you're not sitting there petrified that you're going to make a mistake. And fine well you're not going to get shouted at, because I'm the only one that's leaving or something like that. And have done. So, the other one is dress for you. This was something that somebody said to me a while ago, and I think years ago when I started my business, I was 25, and I thought, do that kind of thing. And then about 3 years ago, my banker came to the door of our office, and I totally forgot a meeting with him. I'm standing in my gym gear. I was like, I have made it. I have actually made it. I'm having a bank meeting with my bank and my gym here, and I don't care. And then I just suddenly thought, dress for you. If you're going to have a meeting, maybe, don't be in your gym gear, but if you want to be, that's totally fine. And for a lot of them, they really, really appreciate that. So they can come in wearing whatever most people come in pretty smart. But it's a nice atmosphere. Pub quiz is something we have, we try to have every Wednesday. It doesn't often happen, but we try and have it. It's just a good thing. Dogs and children are welcome. And the reason I put that there is because certainly for me, if somebody brings their daughter or son into the office, which they do quite regularly, if I have to do something to do with marketing and have a 3-year-old sitting talking to me for an hour, the creativity that will flow out of me when they leave is phenomenal. Same with having dogs in the office. It's quite nice that certainly the girls in the office know that they can bring who they are and the people that they have around them into the office, and that's really nice. And there's always wine in the fridge, always wine in the fridge. We are, I think, the only office in our block that do a Tesco order, and it comes up the stairs and the guy's like, who cares? Is that just booze? And he's like, I mean, it's a lot of booze. I'm like, wow, with any toilet paper in there or anything useful? That's just some photos of our office. One of the things I think is important is the impact of the values and the company culture you have. It's fine to have them, but if they don't have any impact, and I think often when talking about values, you lose people because they go, well, if it doesn't affect the bottom line, what's the point? And actually it does. For us, 80% of our students are returners, referrals or brothers and sisters. We've got 40% returning staff. We use it as an employment tool, so we employ people with the same values in head office. We have a huge retention. ISSOS is somewhere that people want to work. We get over 3,000 applications for our positions over summer. We only take about 108 staff. In head office, I posted a job last year for a recruitment director and had 400 applications within 2 days. And I didn't really know what to do about that. I was like, oh, crap. But bizarrely, when I looked at the advert, one of the things that I basically talked about most of all was the company culture, not really the actual job. Our productivity is massively high. We can now give them 4 days to do everything, so it's got to be. But actually, it is bizarre when you give people time frames, and actually, everybody in our office works very well to sort of deadlines in that sense. We're known for our level of service and quality. We've got a huge amount of testimonials. People do our marketing, and that comes down to the referral sort of aspect. We've won awards for education, tourism, and business. I'm not big on applying for awards because I think you spend your life doing it. It's much nicer when people just give them to you. People buy because of our values. As I've said, we've sort of sent them out, and it has made our reputation has made expanding far easier. When we opened at Yale, we really had to kind of sell it to Yale University. We were a company from Scotland. They were like, who are you? You know, summer schools are all over the States. Why are you different? And we really had to kind of sell that to them, and a lot of that came down to our values, company culture, and referrals. What is marketing? You all know what marketing is, but for me, marketing is absolutely everything. It's in the way you pick up the phone, the way you present yourself as a person that is representing that company. It is your story and telling your story. And 4 of the values that I've kind of picked up to talk about marketing is, one is safety. You know, to me, when people engage in ISSOS, when they read our literature, when they go onto our website and watch our video, I want them to feel hugged, because I really like a hug. And when you get hugged, you get energy and you feel warm, and it's much nicer when you engage with a brand where you feel hugged rather than you feel punched in the face. Well, I think so anyway. I put fear versus love, and the reason I put that is because when everybody used to talk about marketing, they always used to talk about the fear factor, and everybody uses it, and we use it. You know, don't miss out on something. It wants to feel part of something. But when you start to use that, the sort of more love aspect, it brings out something quite different. I'm not saying don't use the fear part. We absolutely do as well. But showing that love of a brand, showing people the safety aspect of a company, I think is really important. Making people feel welcome is massive. The word welcome to me is all encompassing, and I think when I say make people feel welcome, I mean make them feel welcome as they are, with their baggage, with their crap. That's totally fine, and make sure that in a company, when you're employing them, that that's okay. But also if you're dealing with kids specifically, definitely you've got to make everything about them feel welcome. Service, it runs through everything we do, and I think that's really, really important. One of the things that I find fascinating in Scotland is if you buy a car, I don't know, most of you probably bought a car, and nobody has ever phoned you to find out how your car's running, or if you like your car. And if you buy your car in hire purchase, you've got it for 3 years. Nobody phoned you in 3 years' time to say, by the way, you're due a new car. Nobody ever phoned you from Munro or whoever to say, I bought your car 5 years ago, would you like a new one? Why? That is insane to me. You've got an entire customer database sitting there and you don't use it. So for me, services is massive in that sense. Give people some guarantees. If you can't give people guarantees about your business, why not? That kind of scares me. We've got a lovely tagline, the experience of a lifetime. Now, that's not a guarantee because obviously it's due to opinion, but it's incredible. I came up with it in a very small office in Partick when I was 25. I thought, that sounds quite cool. Put it on everything, and now kids, if you read our testimonials, will come back to us and be like, it's the experience. And I'm like, wow. And one of the things that we did this year, because we were talking about values and marketing, and I'll go on to it, I'm big on tell your story. And so when we went away at the end of this year, I took about 40 testimonials from people, and I said to the girls in the office, tell me what your ISSOS story is, tell me what the values are, tell me what it is that you think people should be buying from us. What is our why? And then hoped that they would come up with what I wanted them to come up with, which they did. And I put the 40 testimonials up, and I was like, every single person in those testimonials, I need this. So we've got it right, and we're telling a story. We've just got to sort of tell more of that story. Follow up and show you care, I think, is really important. I've put fun in there, and it says grow some balls. And the reason I've said that is because when we started, an educational company, our office was quite serious, our website was quite safe. And then about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I was like, that's all lovely, but we've been going for a while now. It's time to grow a service. People build something. We can have some fun with this. And we redecorated our office and we made it far more about us, and it's a bit more fun. It looks a bit like it's good fun. And our website had nicer videos on it, videos that were a bit more punchy and actually showed off what summer school did. And we started to show that fun aspect more so. Telling a story, massively important to us. We've got hundreds of them. And I also have said to the girls in the office, go back to why the summer school started. Not doing no started summer school at summer camp. That's fine if you want to tell that story, but make sure they feel that personal story and they connect with it. Also, let people see inside your culture. That's not something we did before. We kind of said, well, we've got this head office and we've got the summer schools. And then we were like, why don't we share with parents who we are so they can actually connect with us and what our office looks like and what we do the rest of the year. Because if not, people think that we sit on a beach sipping mojitos the rest of the year because it's a summer school. People just rock up. And so, yeah, people referral business is our biggest thing. My dad said to me years ago, "Who's the greatest marketing man ever lived?" And this is bizarre. Jesus Christ. And I was like, Jesus Christ? Why? How come? And he was like, well, think about it. He had this product that nobody could see or touch, and he didn't go and sell it. He got 12 disciples to go sell it. And I was like, that's a genius, network marketing. So actually, what we say at the end of every year is you've got 600 disciples, and if they do not go and sell your business for you, then we have screwed something up. And that's where our referral and testimonial marketing becomes the most important thing. And everybody sells to people. I think the biggest thing when it comes to marketing and values is making people feel something. People connect with emotion and people connect with feeling, to me, I'm like, make them cry. If you can make people cry, brilliant. I have a brilliant example of it is John Lewis ad, which is not that great this year because they don't even sell pianos. But that in itself is kind of genius because you get to the end of it and you cry, exactly. And I'm kind of like John Lewis. Well, I'm going to buy a piano from him. I don't care. But it made me cry. And that's the thing. And that to me is what it's all about. They don't remember what you said, but they'll always remember. Is effectively, to me, what the impact of values, company culture is, and how you find your marketing voice through your values and your company culture. Basically. But I would love to hear more about your companies and your and why you want to learn about values or why you want to chat about them.
It's great. All those I would love us to chat. Like, what did you take away from that? What made you think, oh yeah, we can action that, or actually we would do it differently?
I thought it was really good. It's actually the first time I've heard values being linked directly to marketing efforts. Like, so it's so like often it's just something that's done internally. And although I think if you get it right and your values are genuinely lived, then it happens anyway without you really thinking about it. But I always remember a company I worked at one point getting an email from the head office with the values on them. And it was like, oh, by the way, these are our values.
Yeah.
And it's just like quite a big company.
Yeah.
About to go public, so there was loads of new people.
Yeah.
And it was just the values that were stated. Everyone was like, these are definitely not our values, and it's so important that they come up as well as
absolutely.
So, I actually just going to ask you a question here lastly. So you're saying how referrals are such a big driver of communities. Does that mean you don't actually have sales team?
We don't have a sales team. We have one person who's our admissions director. Because we kind of say that we don't sell, what we basically do is give information. I think a lot of the time is what we're doing is, especially when we're dealing with parents, you're effectively giving them information and you're giving them enough information so they make a choice. We don't ask closing questions or anything like that. Majority, what is incredible about the market that we're in, when we first started, I was like, oh, I'm going to get to go travel, I'm going to meet all these parents, it'll be lovely. Didn't go anywhere the first year. People will send you their child and their money without ever having met you. It scares me, but they will. And some of that comes down to, I suppose, the image that you put out. Now it comes down to us saying, and this is where referral comes into it, we offer every parent or every student who engages with us, do you want to speak to a mum or dad or a kid who already experienced ISSOS from your country? Let them talk to them. We can tell you how it's great, but why should you listen to us when you can listen to somebody else who's already experienced it? So in that sense, it's far easier.
Just a wee note to Matt, if you're listening, Matt, we can definitely hear you and see you, so if you can ask a question, just do that. What about you guys, Rachel? I know that you've been speaking a lot about values recently and emphasis on recruitment and retention of staff, and what is your experience? Really interested in your approach to things. I think that's a great environment to work in. We are very talking to 30, and that's a mix of employees, contractors, subs, and advisors, and hopping every now and again. I like to think that we're doing things the right way, but things want to pop up that we don't know about. So, Matt normally is in the office for time, but we've got a big portion of our staff that work remotely. Where'd you work? Amicus.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny. We literally were just saying how people say Amicus and the response is Callum.
I think that's happening earlier. And then it's oh yeah,
and you're like, Rachel.
But that's that's a massive part of us. Cool.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a bit worried that we'll lose sight of that as we get bigger. Because we do like the last Friday of every month, it's a Friday. But then this question popped up after I've done learning. What do I do for the rest of the day? Do I work? If you work, should I work? When do I choose to work? Remote working. Do like a stand-up call on Monday and someone's stressed to make sure or it's like 10, 15 of you see things and you all sit in the boardroom but isolated when you can see the chats going on, you know, giggling before we get set up, that kind of stuff. See? At first I thought, wow, like that's just stupid. And now I totally empathise with that because a few times I've made a point of working from home and I feel like that. What's going on? What are they laughing at here? And so we now make a point of the majority of our calls now to do that. Really internally, I'm really interested in promoting our values through our culture.
I think it's really interesting what you say about when you grow, because I think that's a massive, massive problem. And for us, we've got 6 people. So it's easy to keep those values sort of very current. It's very easy to grow that company culture. It's more difficult for us during summer, you've got 100 and something staff in 3 different locations, so you've got to make sure that whoever you've got leading those staff and the values and everything is something that's gone over and they understand it and it goes through everything that they do as well. I think it is very difficult. I suppose somebody like the Wood Group is a phenomenal example of somebody who did it exceptionally well, I suppose. That, but when you're such a big company, how do you maintain that? Especially if you've got different locations as well. I think it's a really interesting kind of challenge. Totally.
Things like vanity,
Yes.
holiday, how to deal with that with such a big team with it.
Yeah.
So it's very much.
I think also as well though, I think there's a lot of an atmosphere in business culture as well that everybody feels. And and that's why I used to love things like Power Review, because we'd all go away for a week and go, how do you do that? What do you do? Oh, right, okay, that's cool, right, I'll do that. Great. And it is, everybody is making it up to some extent, but learning from each other.
Just now I think it's a really good understanding. Just back from time to things like keeping in touch to be someone else.
Yeah.
And she's really understanding and says, what so let's try a few different things and that can be really going forward, which is great. It's really fun. But I know that will change not be so understanding.
But also it's like maternity leave is a perfect example of somebody into the workplace and they're shitting themselves. Because they're like, I've been out of this for a year or whatever. And I also don't have much adult conversation for a year. And I've suddenly got to go, and you expect them to be like that, and you know exactly what you're doing on your own. And actually understanding, so that's a totally different mindset. And also making sure they part of it again. It's really, and they've also had that fear for 9 months, and the person who's doing their job might be better. You're like, no, it's fine. So it's a really interesting learning curve, definitely.
And you have to see what you're interested in was when people are able to say, I really mucked it up or got it wrong. And I'm super intrigued by that. Something that we practice and definitely is a practice. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we fail at it. We have to do it every day. Yeah. It's as a team we talk about radical candor, so giving timely feedback in a critical but useful way. And part of that is, hey, when having reflection time, and me either being able to say about myself, this was a time that I did not uphold that value. I behaved in a way that was just, I was super frustrated, and this was what happened, and what I didn't do the best. Or pulling someone else up on that same thing, but that really wasn't. Yeah. And I'm kind of interested about Julian's experience of those kind of conversations, and not values for performance management's sake, but having those conversations about it. We hold each other to account to that. Yeah. I know it wasn't your intention to feel back our values, but this is it.
He's really that he comes across as really confident and established in those things. But with one of them, of course he doesn't know. He's never had team to manage. So it's like the management structure. So it's now you've got people in leadership positions. And I really like seeing Carl in a moment of not too sure, but he'll always reach out to discuss and make sure that everyone has as much as possible. I like seeing that from someone
being courageous not to be unbothered.
Yeah,
I think it's so important though. I remember I used to go into meetings all the time, especially when I was younger, and I'd go in and there was all these, the women that don't want to be style that just pretend they know everything, but they don't know anything. And I spent my entire time going to meetings with, I don't understand it. People like, so I genuinely don't have a clue what you're talking about. And then suddenly the guys would be like, yeah, I didn't really get that either. And I was like, all right, okay, hold on a minute. And so, but nobody had the confidence just to say, I don't get it. And I spent my life saying I don't get it, especially with accountants. But I think as well in the office as well, I spend a lot of time going, you might have screwed that up slightly, I'm really sorry. And they're like, I apologise. Well, because it does impact you. But I think from their standpoint, they go, oh, you admitted you got it wrong. Okay. And they do as well, yeah, absolutely.
What you feel like the fact that people come here and say,
totally. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Yeah.
Yes, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. And that was intriguing as well. How you took your values aren't just for your user base or your customer base. It's like with my
kind of you were saying about how you quite you thinking about people that massively values people. But do you ever do anything where you kind of understand an employee's personal values and try and adapt the company towards their personal values so you get better with them?
Yes. In a full-time aspect, yes, because during the summer it's a bit more difficult in the sense that you've got 3 weeks or 6 weeks. But from a personal standpoint, yes. And so when we went away and I said to them, what makes you feel safe? And what we did an exercise actually just recently. What are your personal values? And are you allowed to use them, or do they come through how you work? And I think because we're such a small company, small sort of team, there's 6 of us, we all know each other stupidly well. We're like sisters, we fight like sisters. It's something. But because we know each other so well, we know both the skill sets of how people work, so we can bring that into the way that we work. Also, what they value. So, for example, as I've said, 3 of them are mums, and I know fine well that they value the fact that they can be like, Jen, I've got to go and Ruby's ill nursery. And it's not a case of, oh God, I'm going to get, someone's going to take the piss out of me not doing my job tomorrow. No, they're not. On you go, you're a mum. That's far more important. And I think we've been able to bring in what they value into the workplace. And I think actually when I look at the company culture, it's evolved out of what they value, not just what I value. And what the company values, that's what the company culture effectively is. Things like pub quizzes, that's come out of them going, I need 10 minutes away from my desk, this computer's doing my, not in, okay, let's do a pub quiz. And it became a thing, or realising that you've got somebody brand new, example, who started a few weeks ago, and she came into a unit of 5 women who have worked together for 5 years, who know each other, and I was like, how the hell do you make her feel part of this? It was her birthday 2 weeks ago, so we were like, right, come on, we've always done it, we go for lunch on your birthday, great. And it was just something changed because she was like, oh, I'm valued and I'm part of this, and yeah, you are. So we've managed to bring in what they value into the company culture, and it would actually be really interesting now to sit down and go, I know what you value, where the hell does that come out in the company culture? And it would easily be highlightable, but yeah.
Is it something that I used to work for a marketing company, and my boss was very up on this, and she wanted to make sure that the values of the company were clarified and spread out and communicated and translated through everything that we did. But the idea was there, but the practice wasn't really there. And she, I remember her saying to me one time, she said, me as a boss, I don't get to dictate to everyone how they should work and how they should be. I need to be the one that's pliable to make sure that I'm getting the best out of that. And how much she actually did that. But I remember her saying that, and I was like, that's really interesting. And she tried to implement that across her management team, and they all tried to do that in their teams. But then, I've done a very small company where sometimes I take on an intern, and so I make sure that I get to understand an intern best. I ask them what are their personal missions, and when they're like 10 years old, what do you mean? So I show them this little sort of school of life animation video. It's like a 5-minute long animation. Just helps you understand what's the bigger world and what is important to you and how can you help it bigger. And they're like, oh, this is really useful. So I make them do it. At the very start of their internship. And I'm like, okay, now I know a bit more about you. I'm going to get you to work on certain things. Actually, I need you to do all of this stuff, but actually, you know what? I'm probably going to get the best out of you just with focusing on this. And it's been really useful. And they've been like, oh my God, that's really useful to me, because I never realized that was actually important. And actually, this isn't important. One girl was like really interested in environmental things, and one girl was actually interested in nothing to do with environmental. So what I get them to work on is totally different. Very interesting.
I mean, to know so young what
and also that they can do that. That they get to do that every 6 months or every year, because that will change potentially with time, and this isn't something you're stuck to.
you?
Yeah.
What's your, and because they were like, one girl was like, my personal mission, that's too big to think of. But right now, my personal mission is getting to know myself better. Like that just became her personal mission for the next 6 months.
Brilliant.
And I was like, great, cool, how can I help with that?
Yeah.
I don't know how much I did help with it, but like, you know, just clarifying that for her was like,
Yeah.
I will spread that around. It's a really nice. It helped me figure out mine.
Cool.
And mine from the business, and then from both my personal mission and the business mission, I then created the personal vision and values and the business values. I created like the mission of that and what that actually looked like. For the business.
Imagine like how choose the development that when you're not taking the goal. I think.
Oh yeah, but it's wider than just her business, like her professional career. It's like her personal. Yeah, isn't that a massive thing that you said about bringing the girls and the children aspect, or thinking when like bringing your whole stuff, like we are people and a person, a whole person, and we have several aspects, and you don't leave part of it as if we're like that's not how it needs to be something like this. I wonder how you think that like can have a Will is like one of our key customer personas, so like he is one of our core segments. So it's brilliant when you were saying like this is the exact copy of like, what a user would be, like the mother of a child who would come for like that's cool for us. But I wonder how you feel with that in terms of your experience of like your values and where they sit.
Yeah, I think it's definitely always putting myself in our users' shoes, if you like. So yeah, I have 2 young boys, my family spread all over the world, not on Facebook. Share pictures of them to grandparents, nowhere else to do it. So it's now. And I try to think, okay, so what about our users who are going through the same things? What do they value? What kind of experience are they in? That's pretty important. I wonder, as you mentioned recruiting, and you said like hundreds of applications for one job. How do you ensure going over interviews, or what's your process to make sure that these people actually, with your values as your team, is
So there's 2 sides. For full time in head office, the 400 applications we got. A lot of them I had to go through. I was very intent when we were looking for a recruitment director. I didn't want someone who. So basically, I took all of them and went, no, thank you. I took a few just to prove to myself that's not what I wanted to interview at the moment. A couple of words are coming out of your mouth, I don't understand. No. And the rest. I probably interviewed with 20 people. And for the initial interview, I literally just sat and chatted to them. And I was like, why do you want to work for ISSOS? What is it about the job that appeals to you? And effectively, tell me your story. And that really freaks people out. They go, I went to school, I graduated. I'm like, I don't care where you went to school, I don't care what you graduated with, just tell me about you. And I got to the end of the 400 people, and I didn't find anyone, literally. And it came down to going to a business event with Alan Thorne. And a girl works in Edinburgh, I'd say, I just told the advert, I just can't find the person, such a specific person. And also someone who gets people, as soon as they meet them, I can literally go, yes, they will be brilliant with 20 euros, or they will be great with 40 euros. And I just don't know where to find that person. She was like, oh, that sucks. Wait home. About 2 days later, she emailed me going, so I've got this friend and they're looking for a new opportunity. And my profile of the person was self-qualified English teacher, had worked in summer schools, understood what the heck we did, and could do recruitment. And I looked at her CV and I was like, self-qualified English teacher, worked in summer schools since she was 16 and has recruited. I was like, wow, now I'm going to meet her because she could be an arse. And I met her and I was like, I like you. And she came to the summer school. We went for a glass of wine. She was very conservative the way she drank it. She does not drink slowly. And literally spent a day with her at summer school and chatted. And I thought, you just get it. Just get it. And has been one of the best decisions I've made over the last 5 years. Phenomenal. And
how important was that though to get through your 400? Like, there's not a person not taking it.
It was just one of those things where you go, this is horrible crap. But then you go, do I compromise and take something that I know in my gut is wrong? And you know fine well you're going to have to get rid of them. Or, because also the other thing is when you've got a small team, you're like, this comes down a lot to personalities. If you don't go on with them,
Exactly.
the
You're
whole
not really
dynamics go on.
worried that you're just going to employ someone that you really like. And that actually,
Yeah, totally. Oh, see, this is the other thing. So
That's
because I really like people, I go, Jane, you're not trying to employ your best friend. You know, and I've got to sometimes have that conversation with myself. Like, you've got to make sure they've got the skill set. And during the summer, you know, when we employ people, we're employing teachers, we're employing head counters, all different skill sets and personalities. And you don't want the same personality because you've got to have this wealth of personality so that, you know, 35 people can bond with each other, first and foremost. But also there's always someone the kids are going to relate to. So you've got to have the slightly geeky counsellor, you've got to have the one that's into music, you've got to have the one that's really sporty, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you are sitting there, you know, listening to them thinking, okay. And a lot of them, certainly teachers, you know, why did you get into teaching? If they're like, and some people genuinely will go, didn't know what else to do. They're like, wow, okay, that's inspiring. You know, where some people will literally go, I had a teacher change my life, but their eyes will fill up and you go, get it. Whereas
an interview, you go,
seriously, like it blows my mind. You're like, that's it. Oh, okay. It's crazy. But then some people tell you a genuine story, and I think for me, a lot of it's about stories, and I think actually sometimes as well, when you are interviewing people, we interview them, just chat to them, and that freaks a lot of them out. Because, you know, students especially are being grilled to like apply for EY and stuff, being very serious, and it's not working.
and you're like,
And I'm like, I'm not going to ask you wanky questions, I just want to get to know you, and that freaks them out. And sometimes you get people that relax way too much into it, you're like, it's like lack of sensitivity, and then other people who just get it. And I think you automatically know the people that buy into your values because of what they tell you about themselves a lot of the time. And the way that if you ask them, you know, if you've got a difficult kid, sometimes you ask them, how would you discipline that student? And I've literally genuinely had somebody who was like, well, I would pull them out and tell them in front of everybody else what they've done wrong, and I'm like, great, public humiliation. Yep, nope, that's not what we're going for. And you're like, whoa, and you're like, wow, no. So you kind of get it in that sense. Sometimes you chat for a bit, but in a less formal way.
So kind of a mix of feeling versus some questions they have that you can looking for.
Yeah. I mean, I had a daily conversation with the recruitment director, and she'd be like, is this person interviewing? I'm like, She's like, just don't know. I'm like, friends, if you don't know, you know it's wrong.
Yeah.
She's like, I know, but I kind of want to give them a chance. I'm like, why do you want to give them a chance? She's like, because I think we actually impact them quite a lot. And I'm like, okay, I'm with you. And then I'm always the one that has to work with evidently. She's like, so I'm giving you the Yale. I'm like, oh, right, okay, thanks, right, okay. But I quite enjoy that. And sometimes it's brilliant, and sometimes we go, took a rest, didn't work out, but oh god, yes, 100%. Got it massively wrong in the office, in the head office. Once massively wrong. I had to get rid of someone thinking it's just like it's very London corporate. Somebody who to me was so lovely, and normally I can see through that. And as soon as I left, we shut her door. I was an arsehole to everybody else in the office, and I was like, what? And it was my operations secretary came to me and told me, and I was like, pardon? I was like, oh no, hell no. And within the summer school, yeah, because sometimes you speak to people on the phone or Skype, and they can give you the answers, you know, and they can tell you, and you think,
especially
somebody.
people.
Totally, and also sometimes if you're 4 weeks away from the summer school and you need an English teacher, I mean, I've employed them before and gone, yes, so I'm pretty much sure they're going to last us 6 weeks, but we can get them through 3, and they'll walk into orientation and I go, and you just know, because you can see everybody else going, oh, I don't know. And you know, you can manage most people through 3 weeks from summer school as long as they've got the skill set. And as long as they're not, from a teaching standpoint, affecting the kids and not teaching inappropriate things, you're like, right, as long as if they can do that and then maybe socially they're going to be a bit awkward, we can, you know, work through it. But yeah, you always get it. St Andrews, Cambridge and Yale. So yeah, all nice places, but all fairly similar, but have their massive differences. It's an interesting question. I think so. St Andrews we can, Cambridge we can, in sense of Yale we opened 3 years ago. First year went quite well. Second year Trump came in and last year went back up a bit. And this year's going really, really well. I think we'll probably go to 200 students. There's some other academics that we probably add on. But over 120 staff, you start going, I don't even know who they are, genuinely. And right now, I can go out every single summer school during summer and know who they are. I can invite them all to my house on Saturday night.
Across 3.
120 staff across 3, yeah. But they're all coming to my house, not all of them, my God, but you know, there's people coming to my house on Saturday night from 3 years ago. We know who they all are. And we had our 10th birthday about 2 years ago. And there was like, people from the first year there, you know, and we all knew who they were, and we knew who their kids were, and it was really, really nice. And I thought, the thing that the girls in the office love is they can pick up the phone and they know who the parents are, they know who the kids are. You start going over that, A, it's not family, B, you lose what the girls in the office love. So I think when we expand, we'll expand slightly differently. So we're looking at a recruitment company for summer camps for teachers and all that kind of stuff. So a slight different direction, because you speak to all these companies and you never hear of them saying, "Oh, we love it now, we've got 200 staff." Oh, would you remember when you were meeting with us? It was really fun. And I go, I don't want to get to that other side of it, because it just becomes about making money, and then the things like quality and service to me become so bloody difficult. Yeah. And also because there's a point where we want to make an impact in education. Like we have to make a choice at one point. Do we grow and have 10 summer schools to do what? Or do we have 3 do it really pretty well and then we can start? Yes. Aha. It's so funny because I was speaking at something and someone said, "You know, like, I said, it's not intentional." I was like, now I think it would take some kind of man to work in our office. I think you'd be like, okay. So that has become weird now when you expand, although I don't think we need any more staff in that sense. But obviously during the summer we have plenty of them. But yeah.
It's really interesting because I think like an all male staff would really get it.
Yeah.
But as soon as you
I
say
know,
girls
totally.
on the side, I should go, great, I want to celebrate that.
I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? Totally. It's really bizarre. Yeah.
Right, so I want to say thank you so much everyone for coming along, but thanks Jen for sharing.
No, thank
so
you for having me.
openly, which was brilliant and definitely I think like great value. But are you happy for people to reach out, ask questions?
Totally, yeah, of course.
Questions?
Yeah. I brought some USBs and some flyers and some mints, some of which I ate in the car, so I was really hungry.
I love that. And yeah, everyone else, thank you so much for coming along. We've got our next one on the percent, which actually what are you trying about?
We're going to do a bit more specifically on culture and people within the office. So we'll touch a little bit on balance, but we'll take that.
Okay, so to all your friends, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very interesting. A lot of work for you. Okay, she does it.
It's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
Better screen. Okay.